Hey guys, what is up? Today I come to you with a weekly review of Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 18, and this week's episode is the aftermath of Stain the Hero Killer's arc. So knowing that Stain did not die, I thought he did because they said his rib punctured his lungs, so one would assume that he died, but it actually found out that he was unconscious. So while he is being treated under heavy surveillance, after that he's going to be thrown behind bars and never to see the light of day ever again. And we have where Deku and Todoroki and Ida are also healing up at a local hospital, and they get a visit from the chief of police, who looks like a dog, and he's telling them, despite your actions and everything, if it was caught by the public, you guys could have gotten serious trouble due to you guys not having a license despite the good that you did. But for the fact that very few individuals were able to witness what happened that night against Stain, you guys are, brush off the shoulder. You guys are not in that much trouble, but your mentors are, and for that, thank you. And we also have where Ida, this also gave him a little character development in this episode. We know what happened to his left arm, and it comes to find out that he has long-term damage to it due to what was happening during the fight with Stain stabbing his arm multiple times. So he could get surgery, but he decides to leave it as it is, simply as a reminder that he does not act recklessly and let his emotions cloud his judgment and way of thinking that will cause him to be put in a situation similar to what happened, and also causing his friends having to get involved and also injured as well. So this is his left arm is going to be a key reminder that what happened between him and Stain will never happen again. He will never allow something like that to happen again for the near future. So this will make him into a better person, as well as a better soon to be hero in the near future. But what was the most interesting part of this week's episode was the phone call between Gran Torino and All Might. So the way I see it and the way they were talking about it, it made it seem like Stain was more like a mantra. Now, usually when they say mantra, someone who has influenced people and, due to their actions, it causes people to do certain things. And sometimes it's usually the person has died, but Stain did not die. But due to his actions, it has started a rise of villains. Villains that have been under the radar due to All Might's influence, because Stain is almost like All Might due to his charisma. If All Might is like the hero, is like the symbol of peace, then Stain is like the symbol of destruction for villains. If one causes people to want to do good, then the other causes people to want to do bad. And we know what Stain's ideologies was. He wanted heroes to be like what they're supposed to be, people that save but gain no compensation for their actions, and villains not to recklessly use their powers to harm people. Better that they use their powers, they think things through, but still do damage and chaos at the same time. So that's why he couldn't get along with Shigaraki. But due to what had happened, we see where various villains, and they highlighted those villains in this episode. We don't know what their names are, but they highlighted them. They are now going to join the villain leagues of villains. So because of what Shigaraki did, because of his influence, this is causing even low-tier villains who couldn't do much in now this era of peace due to All Might, has now decided to say, hey, because of this guy, I can do what I want to do. I can do all the wrong that I want to do, because guess what? If he can do it, then I can do it as well. And even though Shigaraki won't like this because of Stain, in a sense, this is also helping him get what he wanted, and him wanting to destroy All Might. And also, what was also interesting was we got a little bit more information on All Might. So as we know, his teacher and also the previous holder of One for All, and also the best friend of Grand Torino, Shimura, we come to find out the person who was behind Shimura's death and also the person behind All Might's current state. That person is called All for One. So it's a flip of One for All. Now, we know All Might 5 years prior, in his prime, was very strong. And for him to go against All for One, they must have been on equal footing, because if he received that hole in his stomach, then you can imagine what type of damage he must have done to All for One. We don't know what it is. Of course, manga readers may know of it, so don't spoil it. But we come to find out that this person is responsible for what happened to All Might, and he is also on the move. He is basically a chess player and he's moving his pieces. So basically Stain was also one of his very few pieces, and he's going to continuously use people and move them out the way in order to get to his greater purpose. Now, we don't know what his purpose is, and I doubt we're going to see within this season because we only have a few more episodes to go. But if Bones decide to do a third season, we will possibly get more information and they will explain more as to this character, and also how he himself is also tied with Deku, because remember, Deku is tied into everything that is going on due to him being connected to All Might, him receiving One for All. He is going to have to know about this and All Might's past and who All for One is, and with the possibility that All for One could be coming after the new successor of it. Now, I don't know how their past went down, but I'm guessing, you know, they possibly were taught by the same teacher, and something happened that caused a conflict and it caused that fight to happen. But this person plays a huge key role in Deku's life now, and Deku is eventually going to have to face this character through All Might. So I cannot wait for that. This person seems really interesting, and the fact that we're getting more villains and that they're going to be joining the League of Villains, we're going to see what they're capable of doing only if there is a third season. And Bones, if you see this video, please let that happen. A third season, let it happen so we can see how this story keeps unfolding itself, and with the introduction of these new characters that were shown that had an appearance in this week's episode. So if you guys saw Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 Episode 18, do drop a comment down below on how you felt about this week's episode. The links are in the description box as always. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!